everyone, Apocalypse Hub here, and for today's video I wanted to do something a little different. Wanted to show you what I've been working on. What you're looking at here is basically what I call a prepper profile flowchart of sorts. Um, I'm fairly new to prepping, close to a year maybe, and that can be overwhelming at times, as most of you know, because there's a lot of information out there currently available for consumption via books, blogs, podcasts, videos, forums, etc. So it's just a lot of info to sort out. So in order for me to keep my focus, I've had to do a self-assessment type of flowchart to help me hone in on what I really need to do. Just gonna do a quick walkthrough of it for you guys. So the top here is basically the title, Prepper Profile version 1, and everything else underneath are basically things to consider. Okay? And it's in no order of importance here. It's just totally random. So the first thing I came up with is city or country. Do you live out in the city? Do you live out in the country? Do you live somewhere in between? For me, we live out in the city, so already that predetermines a lot of things, mostly limitations. Uh, that means square footage of our home is a lot smaller, which means we're going to have to get really creative with storage, and we're going to have to be really picky about what kinds of gear we need. The next thing I thought would be important is obviously budget. How much are you willing to spend for your preps? Okay? You don't want to go bankrupt trying to prep. That's just silly. So, and you know, financial preparedness is still preparedness. So you have to cover all your bases. Next thing is health issues and physical limitations. You know, if you have some sort of a health issue that you really need to take care of, you know, or you know, people that you live with, if they have some sort of health issues, you know, you have to be really mindful of that when it comes to prepping. Next thing on the list is living arrangement. Now, what I basically mean by that is, you know, who do you live with? Are you by yourself? Do you live with your spouse? You live with your parents? You live with your grandparents? You know, just you have pets, you have children in your home, because then you really have to get them involved in your prepping efforts as well. It's just cool to have your family kind of involved in it too. It makes it more fun. Next thing down the line is the size of your home. You know, do you have a lot of storage space? Do you live in a condo? Do you live in an RV? Whatever. Again, that kind of sets the tone on what you can buy, what you should buy. You don't want to buy a whole bunch of stuff that you really can't fit in your tiny little apartment. That doesn't make sense. You have to be really picky. You have to be really wise about what you acquire. I came up with this thing. It's called my rules of acquisition. Because for us, we live in an apartment. Although it's a multi-family dwelling, so I have access to a basement and other storage areas in the house if need be, because it's owned by my family. But for the most part, we live in an apartment. It's not a shoebox size type apartment. It's got pretty ample space, but you really have to kind of assess the things that you acquire based on the space availability. Okay, so it's really important. Okay, next down the line is mode of transport. What I mean by that is, do you have a car? Do you have a motorcycle? Do you have a scooter? Do you have an RV? Or do you just completely rely on mass transportation? Do you have a bicycle? For us, we have a couple cars. And I do take mass transport quite a bit, transportation quite a bit. I take the subway almost every day, but having a car helps. Um, okay, next down the line is lifestyle. What I mean by that is basically what are your hobbies? Where do you work? Do you live out in the country but work in the city? Do you go to college? Are you in a big, humongous campus? Because you really have to be mindful of, your environment in general. And your get home bag should reflect that sort of thing, or your car kit should reflect that kind of thing. Moving on to the last one, current skills and strengths. It's kind of self-explanatory. You have to really be honest about what your capabilities are, your strengths and your weaknesses. Once you know that, you kind of know which ones you need to improve on. Are you good at cooking? Are you good at canning? Are you good at, I don't know, making knives? Just fill in the, are you good at fill in the blank? So all these put together, it kind of gives you a focus on, what or what not to do just yet, or what to acquire, what not to acquire, and what other skills and knowledge you need to seek, okay, to be better prepared. So feel free to use this method if you want. I'd like to see it if you guys are willing to share. This is by no means perfect. It's the first draft. I'm probably going to expand on it later on when I have time. But I like to keep it simple because each one of these you can actually add another bubble underneath and you can collapse it. So the more simple it is during the beginning, the better. Okay? You can just have 3 of these. It doesn't matter. Um, so far, based on my analysis, my self-analysis, I basically am going to focus my efforts on storage solutions for our apartment, as well as acquiring multifunctional, versatile gear. Um, I also want to acquire additional skills and knowledge because that stuff doesn't take any square footage and nobody can take that away from you. So, you know, skills and knowledge. It's number one thing on my list. Storage solution would be next, and then the multifunctional versatile gear would be the third. So that's my current focus for now. I'll keep you updated as it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching this screencast, and I hope you guys subscribe and keep watching. I'm gonna try to produce some more vids in the near future. So thanks for watching.